Do you want to hear something freaking wild? I went from a broke 17-year-old who couldn't open a bank account to selling 3 tech companies in 10 years. I made so much money that my bank froze all my accounts because it looked suspicious. Trust me, no one was more blown away than me. Since then, I've built my net worth to over $100 million and I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs scale their businesses. So I'm gonna show you how to make so much money that your bank doesn't even know what to do with it. So the first thing you need to focus on to make so much money it breaks the bank is focus on skills, not stuff. Too many people come out Mr. Flashy Pants and the cars and the watches and all the stuff, and I get it. Those are cool things. The challenge is that when you make those the priority, you don't build the person creates the wealth, not the things you have. This is the blueprint for how to start building skills. First, we identify the one high value skill that you want to develop. It could be sales, it could be code, today AI automation, video editing, and really understanding how to collaborate with very high level people building their brand. Then we have to commit to 1 hour a day, 1 hour of focused attention learning that skill. One of my team members the other day, he actually sent me a spreadsheet. He used ChatGPT to create an outline with links to videos, 45 minutes a day, to teach him how to become master level AI expert in 90 days. This person's gonna walk away having a skill that's gonna produce massive income for him because he can create value in my life for less than an hour a day. If you wanna go hardcore, give yourself 2 or 3. Depends how driven you are. Here's a hack. Get ChatGPT to be your free tutor. You can ask it, write this prompt. I want to learn this skill of X. Give me a specific learning path, detailed plan with link to YouTube videos that I can watch for less than an hour first thing in the morning. I want to go from beginner to pro, hit enter, pow, and it will build the plan for you. Finally, dedicate 1,000 days. Most people, their whole life, the dream, the vision they have for what they want to create exists on the other side of 1,000 days of dedication. Not 5 days a week, 2 days off for the weekends. I'm talking day after day after day because momentum is contagious. Not doing the work, it's building the confidence by proving to yourself that you're willing to do the work day after day. When I was 17, I got out of rehab. I was in a bad spot. I felt like I was behind. I felt like I needed to make some progress. So I worked my freaking ass off and I started to make some money. So I bought a bunch of shit. I bought the couch, I bought the car, I got the cool apartment, and I quickly realized the things that I owned me. I do not get rich by the stuff I have. I got rich by the skills I developed. Your ability to create value is what people are going to pay you for. That value is on the other side of developing a skill that people value. But skills alone won't get the bank account to raise red flags. So next, you need to stop selling a product and start solving a problem. I started 10 plus companies from 17 to 24 and failed at every one. Some of them were meaningful where I incorporated and I had customers and revenue, and other ones were just projects, but I tried. No side hustle, literally dedication and focus. Why did I suck? Why did I fail? I'll tell you. I cared more about building technology than actually working backwards from the customer, asking them, what is your problem? Nobody's gonna give me feedback because I wasn't trying to sell anything to anybody. I was just getting off on just building shit. And too often we play this fake game of entrepreneurship, which lacks the execution of talking to the customer and focusing on them. Oftentimes at Martell Ventures, my AI venture studio, when we partner with founders, we look for people that understand the problem. They may not know how to solve it. That's okay. I'm really good at that. But I want people that have got 18, 25 years of being in an industry and just see massive opportunities of transformation. That's what you got to focus on. When people go to buy a drill, they're not looking to buy a drill. If they go to Home Depot and get this hardware, they're not like, oh my gosh, look at this drill. It's electrical and it does this cool thing and it's got a battery pack. It's orange, it's green, it's blue. No. They go, I need a hole in the wall. It means I need a drill to create the hole. And if somebody could come for 10 cents and drill that hole in the wall, I don't want to go buy the drill. So what do they really buy? They buy the solution, not the tool. Results sell. Products don't. This is my simple framework for identifying a core problem. First, I ask the customer, what problem are you having right now that you're actually paying to solve? Is it cleaning your clothes? Is it getting your lawn mowed? Is it having somebody do lead generation, create content for you? Then I know it's painful enough for them to part with their dollars. Finally, you have to charge based on the outcome, not the effort. Too often we underprice the problem that we're solving for because we think, well, it only takes me 15 minutes. At the end of the day, if the customer feels that pain is massive and they're willing to pay for it, bring it up a little bit and charge for the outcome, not not your effort, because then you can get better and there's a motivation for you to improve and be more efficient and productive because you get to keep more of the money that you charge, not focus on the amount of time you took. So with your skills figured out and a problem identified, the next big step is to prioritize leverage over labor. Leverage is awesome. Labor is expensive. My first company, I thought, I've got one gear, get things done. 100 hours a week, running around. I felt burnout and chaos. Today, 25x the revenue in a third of the hours. Why? Because I hired help, because I automated, because I delegated. I built leverage. If hard work was the answer, then roofers would be billionaires. When you distill it, leverage is tools, capital, systems, and people. Wealthy people work through things, not on them. They use those 4 areas of leverage to get things done. They don't use their time because that is finite. Here's how you build leverage fast. First, you have to buy back your time. Understanding what your time is worth and figuring out ways to buy back that time from things that suck your energy in the first place. You can't work enough hours to build $1 million company. You can't build $1 million company off $10 tasks. You have to learn to buy back your time. Then you use the tools to your advantage. When I think of the world we live in with AI automation and tools like Make and Notion being able to come in and take care of full business processes so you don't have to touch them, and you're sitting there pretending not to know they exist, not wanting to learn them. Go back to step 1, to skills. You have to invest in becoming more valuable, which means learning the tools of leverage. Finally, build systems, not habits. Systems scale, people don't. People come and go, systems stay and grow. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. If you understand this, then you'll make sure the checklist is being followed. It's created in the first place. You build the training towards the checklist, and then you build the people. When you build the people build the business. And that's how you build leverage, which if you master will lead to that phone call from the bank. So now the key is not doing a lot of stuff, it's doing less, but understanding what to measure, which leads us to the 4th way to make so much money it breaks the bank. Measure what matters most and ignore the rest. The way we create value from measuring is understanding what's that one number that if it goes up, the rest of the business does well, which leads to the concept of the one metric. In every one of my companies, I have one number, one ratio that everybody knows in real time. It's on the dashboard out there that they look at to make decisions. For example, Martell Ventures, it's enterprise value created per dollar spent. Very simple metric. Martell Media, it's revenue per follower. Why? Followers is an indicator of a lot of things: quality, interest, desire to follow along. A lot of people talk about revenue per 1,000 views. Who cares? I'll get the 1,000 views. I want to get revenue per followers because I want the followers to go up so that I know that I'm creating value enough that people decide to click the button. Social media algorithms change, but the idea of a follower being a lead, which is a lot more of an intent to show you they want to stick around and make money from that, that's powerful. Which is revenue per follower, because I know it's that one thing that drives all decisions within the business. And I know what you're thinking. I got a lot of stuff I want to measure, Dan, but here's what I believe. The wrong metric will keep you busy. The right ones will make you rich. If you think about it, data is only useful if it drives better decisions. When you think of the 80-20 rule, that's cool. I like to go 95-5 rule. What's the 5% that if I focus on and I ignore the rest will achieve my goal? Business is about focus, following one course until successful. It's not getting overwhelmed with 1,000 things. That's why I have a hard time with people that are like, hey, I got 3 businesses, 5 businesses. No, you have one business that makes profit and 2 other ones that suck all the resources from that one, and you're too busy to actually push it forward because you don't know what one number you need to metric to build business. So here's what you should actually be tracking. First, we need to understand the leading indicators. What are the activities, if I measure on a daily basis, have high probability to correlate to that one metric going up? So for example, what are the click-through rates on the ads? How many calls were made? How many emails were sent? It's all the activities you can control today that will correlate to the number going up. These are inputs rather than results. See, I'm patient with results and impatient with actions to the inputs. Then the lagging indicators, the followers added, the revenue collected, the happy customers. If you think about it, I can develop a black box of inputs and outputs, and I may not even know how the machine works, but if I focus on changing the input and it changes an output, then I can improve the velocity of the value on the outside to get the results I want. To keep it super simple, leading indicators are inputs, lagging indicators are results. Finally, my favorite word, it's a sign of DRI, direct responsible individual. I got this from Steve Jobs 17 years ago. He's famous for saying, if nobody owns an outcome, then nobody owns an outcome. Like, you can't move the business forward. So he had a name next to each project, each product, each system. There was a name. It wasn't like, oh, this department owns this. No. Who is it? Is it Betty? Is it John? Is it Marty? Give me the name. Well, technically it's Betty. Perfect. Betty, do you know you own this? I didn't really, but I guess it makes sense today. Now, as a person leading a team, you can get results. And if you want the example of how I do this, DM me the word scorecard on Instagram, Dan Martell, 2 L's Martell, and I'll send you the exact template I use in my businesses. Okay, so if you really want to make amounts of money that your bank gets concerned, there's one last step that's absolutely crucial. Stop waiting for permission to play a bigger game. 4 years ago, I played small, waiting for somebody else to validate me. Then I realized that nobody else was coming. Nobody else was going to step in and build something. Nobody else was going to step in and tell me. Nobody else was going to even hold me accountable, because the higher you go, you realize that very few people can understand where you're operating. I built it anyways. I launched the company. Martell Ventures is that company. I pitched the team. I brought in a CEO. I hired the people. I jumped before I felt ready. I knew I was playing small. I knew there was a bigger game. I pretended not to know. And I had to stop. I had to be honest with myself. My gut tells me that you're watching this and you know you've got the same decision to make. Here's what's crazy. No one believes in you until you win. So just go win. Think about it this way. Every person you admire started before they ever felt qualified. So here's how we start playing bigger. First off, write down the thing you've been avoiding to do because you feel underqualified. Nobody needs to qualify you, okay? When you feel called, you are qualified. Then break it into one small move you can make today. It's called MINS, most important next step. Write it down. Start to take action, build momentum. Finally, do it before your brain talks you out of it. JFDI style. Just fucking do it. It's the license plate on my car. It's my default operating mode. On top of my office, it literally says default to action, because I know when my heart says jump, I can't let my brain convince me out of it. I gotta go. If you commit to this, I can promise you, the chances of you becoming wealthy and successful will skyrocket, enough to make your bank look twice at your account. You don't get that phone call from the bank playing safe. You do it by going all in on your growth, solving a big problem, a massive problem, measuring the right things, and refusing to wait. You got this. This is your chance. Take a step. Now, if you want to learn how to build a business that runs seamlessly without you doing it all, click the video and I'll see you on the other side.